All right, I gotta tell you, it's an honor to have basically have artists come in and just hang out,
For sure.
but especially artists that come in that have a purpose to talk about things, and I love this. Keak Da Sneak in the house, man. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed, Big Al.
Yes, sir.
Blessed.
Yes,
Truly.
good. And also I'm hanging out with Berry Accius, man. How you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. Here again.
Back again,
Yeah,
man.
it's like my second home.
I know. Might just get you a permanent seat, brother.
You know, we can do a little podcast show together, you and me.
Yeah, hey, we can deal with
We
that.
talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
I want in.
You want in?
Oh,
Come on,
okay,
there
yeah.
we go. It's the three-man ramble. Let's make it happen.
Just me, you, and Keak. That's it. That's the name. That's the title. Me, you, and Keak.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So, I mean, I've seen you on TV. I've seen you locally here and talking about the issue that you have. But I kind of want to backtrack just a little bit because there's a lot of fans that love you and they love the music you play.
For sure.
And they already know about 3 Times Crazy. They know about the hyphy movement. But, I mean, the moment that you linked up with E40,
Right.
I mean, how was that? I mean, you could get into the studio. I know you couldn't predict
Right.
how it was going to turn out, but what was it like walking in there doing that?
Man, it was like it was just a real honor. You know what I mean? 'Cause I grew up off 40.
Yeah.
Click, you know what I mean? He actually, out of 3 Times Crazy, he picked me to be on the Hall of Game album. You know what I mean? So it was just like me, him, and Spice One, Ring It. I got a plaque for that.
Man.
Fact, you know what I mean? A gold record for that.
Yeah.
In '96. So ever since then, me and 40 been just real tight. You know what I mean? I'm like his guy, you know? He's actually a fan of, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a big 40 fan, but he's a Keak fan also.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
I love that mutual appreciation, especially in Northern Cali, man.
Yeah.
I've been to LA, I've been to Chicago, I've seen other places where it's just all like, you know.
Yeah.
And to see that sharing of love.
For sure.
And you happen to be doing music together, like, oh, okay, yeah, jump on the mic, let's go.
For sure.
I thought that was moving from Chicago to Oakland.
Yeah.
And being in California the whole time, that really stood out for me. How y'all shared that love and appreciation for each other.
For sure. For sure.
So I mean, obviously you just established that this ain't your first rodeo. You've been doing this thing for a cool minute.
Yeah, for a long time.
For sure.
Yeah,
So I
early
mean,
90s.
Yeah, and then obviously tell me when to go and all the success happened.
Right.
But then but I think this might have been like an underlying thing because Richmond, you already know, is like that. I mean, living in Oakland, hearing about it, I'm like,
Man,
oh
for sure.
yeah. So talk about what it's like living out there in the rich, man.
Well, right now I stay in Sacramento, but
Yeah.
I was staying in Hercules for a while. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
It's just like Oakland, you know what I mean? Kind of like the same, you know what I mean? You got to be on your toes, you know what I mean? Police, they profiling, you know what I mean? They see you, they gonna jack you, pull you over. Actually, are you on probation or parole? That's the first thing they gonna ask you.
Man.
You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10 you are. They gonna pull you out. They gonna search you. You know what I mean? 4-way search clause. They can even go back to your house and search your house. You know what I mean?
Man.
So it's kind of like the same. You know what I mean? You gotta just be on your toes at all time, and be straight. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be moving around, you know what I mean?
Right.
And if you are moving mean or moving wrong, you better be ready to, go all the way with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Take them on a chase or whatever.
Go big or go home in that respect.
Right. It's wild. You know what I mean? I done got older now, so I'm kind of like, I'm a grown man. I got a son that's 17, so I'm trying to teach him. You know what I mean? To be right. You know what I mean? And do things right. So I got to be a role model too now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, despite all the stuff that you're going on in your lifetime, you gotta make sure you can have a teaching moment for your young one.
Exactly.
Man,
it's like I made all the mistakes for him. He don't have to make none of the mistakes I made because I did it for him. So now I can tell him, you know what I mean? And really from experience, you know what I mean? That so he really understands. Yeah, this is how it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
If you
If you go in this way, this is what's going to happen. If you go this way, this is what's going to happen.
Right.
Make your decision.
Make your decision now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And be right. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's for sure. For sure. So, man, just with all this happening in just a short amount of time, I mean, just I think probably the best thing I can go to, like, tell the story of what happened to get you into this spot today.
Right. 2017, January, somebody tried to rob me and my brother, and I ended up getting shot. So February, it wasn't a fatal wound, but it was, I got shot. So, I got a pistol case already in Sacramento. So I'm really not supposed to have one, but I figure, okay, I'd rather be caught with it than without it now because, my life is on the line. So, and I be by myself a lot too. So I bought an illegal gun, and God worked in mysterious ways because I got caught with it the very next month in February.
Wow.
So my case was, the only reason why I got this illegal gun is because this just happened to me 30 days ago.
Right.
So I'm going back and forth to court, fighting it, trying to get the best deal I can get. But in August, I ended up getting shot 8 times and almost losing my life.
Man.
So I figured that there should have told them that, okay, I'm really being truthful with you guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My life is on the line here, and I was in the hospital for months, and the case got, it got put off for so long that they kind of like wanted to get it over with. They didn't want to give me my fair go around, you know what I mean? So now I'm coming to court in a wheelchair, you know what I mean? My first lawyer, he bagged out on me because I was in the hospital so long. He had so many different cases he was fighting.
Yeah.
And he was coming from San Francisco all the way to Jackson to Amador County.
Wow.
So I got a lawyer from Amador County, and he was pushing for getting me an ankle monitor and a split sentence. He ended up passing away.
Oh, man.
My luck, right? So my third lawyer is a lady, and I felt like she didn't have no fight in her at all. She just came in just to kind of like get the case over with.
Now, were these like public defenders, or were these like lawyers that you hired?
These is lawyers that I hired, that I'm paying. I just paid this lawyer $3,500, the one that passed away.
Yeah.
So I'm fighting, trying to get my refund, trying to get my money back.
Right.
'Cause I just gave him a payment, and he ended up being sick and passing away. So now my next lawyer, she wants $5,000 just to represent me and want $2,500 up front. So I'm doing shows just to pay her, right? So the end result is the DA said that my problem with Mr. Williams is he's still doing shows, so he can do time. I'm like, wow. I mean, how am I supposed to pay for legal representation?
Right. That's what kind of struck me as weird is that, I mean, you're not you working for Roto-Rooter or something like that.
No.
This is what you do.
This is what I do for a living, for sure. And I'm not hitting backflips on stage. Somebody's carrying me up there, and I'm sitting in one spot with a mic and rapping for 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
Man.
But long story short, it's kind of like it's 2019 now, so they're kind of like tired of me or something, and they don't want to give me my fair go around with this lawyer. Now they're saying that 2 years, and then they say, okay, 16 months, and this is the last deal on the table. If you don't take this, then you got to go to trial and all this other mess. And all I'm trying to do is just I'm like, okay, well, I got a lot of health issues going on,
right?
And I'm sure they ain't gonna be able to provide the treatment that I'm getting now out on the outs. And I got hope of walking again. It ain't like I'm just I'm a total injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not permanent.
It's not permanent. My legs I'm getting movement back every day.
Oh, that's good. That's so good.
Yeah. So with therapy, you know what I mean, I'll be able to walk again. So now they not giving me I go to court for the last time, and they telling me I gotta make my decision now. You know what I mean? I gotta make my decision right now or else. So it's like, damn, you know what I mean? Excuse me, but so I ended up having to take 16 months with this lawyer that I just paid. I'm like, wow, I could have went in here with a public defender and got the same deal that I got for paying you to get me.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with it today. I'm just like, the lack of compassion that they got for me, you know what I mean, in Amador County, you know what I mean. It's like, okay, go to jail or nothing. Don't get me wrong. I done been in jail before. I'm not scared to go to jail.
Right.
But I've never been to jail in this condition.
Right.
That I'm in. That's where I'm at. I feel like, okay, well, I'm going to be an advocate for the next person that's going through what I'm going through. If I have to be, I'm going to make noise. I'm going to stir up a lot. I'm going to let them, I'm going to let the world know that Amador County is really playing unfair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now with it.
It's kind of like a referendum on the whole legal system, but specifically for Amador County.
Yeah, man.
And how they just like throw away the key.
Right. In any other county, I would be on ankle monitor right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or probation or something like that. They wouldn't just lock me up and throw away the key as fast as they did.
Yeah.
They really didn't give me another option. The lawyer that passed away, he had another option for me.
Right.
I guess because he was from Amador. Now my last lawyer, she's from Oakland. You know what I mean? So
She don't know Amador.
They don't respect.
They don't know the county.
Yeah, they don't respect lawyers that's not from their county. So that's what happened with me. You know what I mean? So,
It's weird. It almost sounds like I'm hearing this story, and I'm hearing this, and I'm like, it's almost like Dukes of Hazzard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's almost like, oh, you ain't from around here. You know, or something like that.
Man,
like
exactly.
Then they're gonna give you all the breaks.
Exactly what it is, and what put me in the situation was racial profiling at an all-time high. I was pumping gas at a gas station. The sheriff was in the intersection passing me, and he was eyeballing me so hard I felt him looking at me. And I looked, I said, wow, is he looking at me? And I'm like, well, maybe not, you know what I mean? And I looked away because I'm like, I don't want to give him eye contact too long, and you know what I mean? So I finished pumping my gas, I go in the store, I come out, he's parked in front of my car. And I'm walking to my car, and now he's asking me, am I on probation or parole?
Wow. That's just crazy. It seems that way. So, hey, you got a perfect person right here with Berry.
Man, my God.
Who's not, he ain't afraid to speak up. One thing I do know about Berry Accius, he ain't afraid to speak up.
Yeah, and I'm not neither. So that's where I'm at. And you know, a lot of people taking this though as, you know, I made a mistake. Okay, I'm gonna pay for my mistake.
Right.
But you know, give me the best situation you can give me. I don't want to go in here and then come out worse than I am. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, that's my worst fear is, you know, going in here and then coming out worse than, or I could have been in better condition if I would have, you know, had the proper treatment.
Right.
Other than you guys just throwing me in prison. You know what I mean?
Just throw away and lock you up, throw away the key.
That's
man.
exactly what they're doing to me.
Yeah. So Berry, man, talk when you heard about the situation with Keak, man.
Yeah.
What was your reactions initially, and what did you do moving forward from that point?
When I first heard about him getting shot, you know, I was like shocked because this was like his second time. So I was like worried. And of course the rumors at first was like he was dead. So, you know, I made sure I checked in with fam and made sure that, you know, that rumor was ceased, because what the truth needed to be was we all needed to sit there and pray and make sure that he had a healthy recovery.
Yeah.
So that happened. Fast forward to that, I just remembered, you know, a post going up, and it was like, yo, I'm about to go serve some time. And I'm like, serve some time? How? Like, I'm looking at you in a wheelchair. Like, how you going to serve some time? Got on the phone, we talked, and it was like, yo, this is what they doing to me right now. And I was like, that can't happen, because you're too valuable here on the streets helping build and empower these youngsters, as he's been doing right now, currently, and changing lives. His story can impact more people out here doing the work than him being locked up, right? Because it's a story of redemption. It's a story of survival. He's never had a childhood that was easy. His upbringing was rough. Even in the rap game, it was tough for him with his raspy voice, his unorthodox style, to kind of emerge as the icon that he is, right? So when we saw this situation and we heard about what was happening and the fact that they have the opportunity to give him ankle monitor, I'm saying, well, why would they choose to put him in prison knowing his condition? And that just looks as the system that we have, it plays such a evil place for black people altogether, right? And that's just the truth, right? The system is racist. And when you look at the numerous folks, I just was reading about some guy in Alaska. I don't want to mess up his name, but his name is not important, but the situation is he sexually assaulted a woman. He masturbated on a woman, beat the woman up, and they gave him ankle monitor.
Right.
And they let him go back home with his family. So when I look at Keak, a non-violent offense, after the fact, knowing the situation on why he did carry the illegal weapon for his own protection, he wasn't brandishing the gun. He got racially profiled. So to be honest with you, he would have been able to drive in his car and went back home, put it away, whatever. You now have this man fighting for his life in a situation where we all know that the prison system has not been able to rehabilitate criminals. How are they going to rehabilitate a person in a wheelchair? That's what we want to know. How are you going to make sure Keak is going to be safe, a high-profile inmate who has celebrity status when he walks in? What's the outcome going to be when folks start hearing, Keak's here and he's in this position?
Right.
Especially when we know there's been 2 attempts on his life within the last 2 years. So he's a sitting duck. So I just don't really think that, one, the DA really understands the dynamics of what is going on with her throwing this black male in this confinement. And 2, I think the liability, I don't really think they're really thinking far enough because they just look at him as just another black face, let's throw him in. But the liability part, if something happens to him, that falls back on them.
Yeah.
And I don't even think they're even seeing that far.
It sounds like that. It's like, like you said, if it was like in Oakland, if it was in San Francisco, if it was in Los Angeles, if it was in Las Vegas, New York, Chicago, it would be, they know he wouldn't be the first person to be dealing with, they would be the first case that they've handled. But being in San Bernardino County, a little bit smaller, it's not, they don't normally handle situations like this.
They don't cater to us. They don't cater.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, I know how we can solve this.
Yeah.
That is... That led to my next question. Have you received any backlash? Meaning, I'm sure the fans, they right behind you because we'll talk about the petition a little bit later.
For sure.
But have you received any backlash from, say, the law enforcement community or how they feel about it? Like, is it like throw them in jail or are they trying to do the company line?
Man, it's to me, it's like throw him in jail. They can give a who I am. You know what I mean? And they don't really realize how powerful I am at all. So they wasn't expecting this at all. They were just expecting me to just throw me away like how they do everybody else.
It's like you was just some dude just at the gas station. They didn't realize this is Keak Da Sneak.
And then also the DA is saying that this is what he wanted. So now that we have been having some pushback and they're now getting phone calls and folks are asking questions, they're saying, well, he wanted 16 months. No, if you're going to give him 4, then go from 4 to 2, and you're saying you have to pick which one, of course he's going to say 16 months. But I don't want to be confined being in a prison cell for 16 months. This is not jail. This is prison. And if they're not taking care of you in jail, they're for sure not going to worry about you in prison. And we all know about the overcrowding in prisons. We all know about the disasterly things that happen in prison. You just think about what's going on in Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Detention Center right now.
Oh, that's right. When they had no power.
Okay,
and
they
no
had
heat.
no power. So it's not like he's going to confines that are going to be helpful to his needs. Brother, break down what you got going on right now.
Man, I got a pressure ulcer on my bottom that's as big as a tangerine. It's this big. So they got to stuff it with some foam, and I'm wearing a womb vacuum to suck the bacteria out of it. Man, I got a womb vac. I got a PICC line, so they can issue antibiotics in me because it's infected. And you can stick your finger in it and touch my bone. It's that deep. You know what I mean? I got 2 of them. I got one on my back and one on my bottom. I'm wearing a colostomy bag. I use the bathroom with a catheter. You know what I mean? I got a lot of different a lot of different things going on with me. So I'm like, okay, how are they gonna treat that? You know what I mean? When I leave the house, I gotta leave with a pack of supplies. You know what I mean? When I leave, I gotta leave with a gang of stuff.
Yeah.
Just coming up here.
Yeah.
I got a backpack full of things in the car just in case I gotta use the bathroom or just in case this thing starts tweaking or tripping. I gotta stay keeping it charged up. So I got the charger to it just in case the battery go low. It's just a lot of different things that I got going on that I don't think I got a nurse coming to see me 3 times a week. You know what I mean? My therapy, you know what I mean? My outpatient therapy.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get any of those things in prison. You know what I mean?
Right. And I mean,
Not at all.
I saw a video. I mean, dude picked you up and put you in the chair.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was talking to somebody in the hallway, and they were saying, "Oh, that's fake." I'm like, dude, I don't think he's a flight risk. I don't think he's gonna run away. I mean, that looked a little bit too real for me, right?
Man,
and
that's just how I just got in the chair coming up here.
Yeah, man.
I got to keep my guys with me.
Yeah,
you know
you
what I
see-
mean?
Exactly.
This is my first cousin right here.
Right.
Some folks are like, well, a lot of folks who are in wheelchairs go to, prison. But that don't mean that it's right. And I feel like what Keak is doing, he's now opening up the idea of what does it look like with folks that have disabilities, mental health, as well as being bound by a wheelchair, how we can kind of rephrase justice for them, depending on what kind of crime is committed.
Right.
But he has not committed a crime that was a felony, right? This is something that could have been prevented for sure, but there was 2 parties that played that. Keak, as well as the sheriff that racially profiled.
It kind of speaks to the whole stigma of who they look at as prisoners. Hey,
Now, don't go there.
I got in-laws that's in law enforcement, and they try to tell me, and I just said, no, let me just tell you something. Not everybody is El Chapo.
Yes,
Not
sir.
everybody
Yes, sir.
is Manuel Noriega. Not
Yes,
everybody
sir.
is
Right,
like that.
right.
There's folks who just made mistakes, and they're paying for it, but you don't just dregs in humanity, kick them out, and just they'll learn after.
Yeah.
No, that's not about that. What happened to the rehabilitation part? What happened to the?
There's no such thing.
There's some people who take advantage of the system.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But
how's
there's
he
a
gonna
lot
take-
more people than not.
But how's he going to take advantage of the system? If you put him on ankle monitor, what is he going to do? All this man wants to do is continue to take care of his family and continue to speak to the youth. I've watched him discuss his lifestyle to the young people and telling them that this ain't the way.
Mm-hmm.
And he can do a lot more powerful things, redirecting them, because a lot of these young people idolize him.
I agree. I totally agree with that, man. So explain the petition and how that come about and what was become of that.
I got a legal team that really brought the petition about. I need a certain amount of signatures for alternative sentence. Change.org, you know what I mean? I had I got with them and I start, the petition. You can link into my bio on Facebook if you want to sign it for me.
Yeah.
But I'm at like 30-some,000 in a week of people that done signed it for me. So
Man.
it's like they're impressed. They're like, wow, we've never seen, nothing happen like this in a week. You know what I mean?
Right.
So right now that's just like I'm just trying to get an alternative sentence.
Okay.
If not, then I'm going in on Thursday, and
Right.
it is what it is.
I gotta say this affects me personally.
Yeah.
There's a lot of outrage, not just out there, but within me. And I'm glad that you're stepping in and you're doing everything in your power to not only deal with your direct situation, but also to help the young people and with the help of Berry, to instruct them, because your mom and your daddy can tell you,
Right.
but when somebody is actually in it, telling you, this ain't scared straight. This is like, look, bro, for real though.
real,
Let me
for
tell you, don't. I'm very proud of you, man.
Man, thank you, Al, man. Thank you, man. experience is the best teacher.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I mean?
Yes, sir.
And you know one thing also, again, he's not saying I'm not going to do no time.
Right.
I've done wrong. Give me the time, but give me the time that makes sense. Give me ankle monitor. You can do that. There's been too many cases that we've seen.
Yeah.
You know, as a black person, when you live in America and you see all this injustice happening to us and you just watch our white counterparts just kind of being able to skate through, I mean, it kind of pisses you off a little bit. It's like, well, why did that happen with them? Who did they know and what did they do? I mean, we've seen this throughout history and more recently even now.
Racism is real.
Yeah. So if we're here to kind of create this change, why not allow him to do all of the work? I mean, you could go ahead. I mean, the judge, the DA can say, hey, we want you to do about 150 some hours or 500 or whatever of community service. This dude's already serving the community right now. So it'd be nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
He's already doing a community service, right?
So that's better work and better play than being incarcerated for something that, yeah, he made a mistake, but you want to penalize him to the max. And we know there could be a different alternative. There has to be alternatives because rehabilitation does not happen in prison. It just doesn't.
So one more time, man. Tell it's change.org.
Yeah, change.org. You can sign my petition, go to my bio on Facebook. You can link in through my Instagram. It's official Keak Da Sneak. And you know, if you behind me, man, you behind me, and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. You know what I mean?
Man, we definitely appreciate you, man.
Make sure you tell them the hashtags too.
Oh yeah, the hashtags, brother. With them hashtags, man.
Free Keak Da Sneak.
Yeah, you go.
Keep Keak free. Yeah.
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Keak Da Sneak. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so
the
much.
pleasure's mine, Al. You know what I mean? Shout out to V101. You know what I mean? .1.
For sure.
Got
For
it.
sure.